I see in your eyes the same fear that would take the heart of me. A day may come when the courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship. But it is not this day. I bid you stand, men of the West!
In the nearly 100-year history of the Oscars, only 3 films have ever won more than 10 times in one night. The first was in 1959. Ben-Hur won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, and 7 more categories. It didn't happen again until almost 40 years later in 1997 with James Cameron's Titanic, which also won Best Picture and Best Director, as well as Best Cinematography.
I'm the king of the world!
But when it comes to the movie most remembered for cleaning up on one glorious, glamorous evening, the third time was the charm in 2003. Peter Jackson's epic conclusion to the Lord of the Rings trilogy was nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Visual Effects, Best Original Song, Best Original Score, Best Production Design, Best Costume Design, Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Film Editing, and Best Sound Mixing. It won all of them. A clean sweep, and that didn't even include Best Cinematography, Best Actor, and Best Supporting Actor, all of which it also deserved. Take your pick. Sean Astin, Bernard Hill, Viggo Mortensen, Ian McKellen. This may truly be the most finely crafted film ever made. Still, according to the laws of Hollywood, it's only tied for first place as the best movie in 97 years. But what if I told you I can prove empirically that it's better than Ben-Hur and Titanic, and therefore better than any movie ever made? And not by my own biased opinion, but the rules of Hollywood themselves. Follow me, precious, into the heart of Mordor, as I make my case that since the dawn of film in 1888, no movie has ever come close to the perfection that is the third and final film in Peter Jackson's masterful adaptation of the brilliant works of J.R.R. Tolkien. The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. The opening backstory of our old friend Gollum is sad and disturbing. Nevertheless, Jackson hooks you right away, worming his way into your heart and fishing for imagery that may ring a bell. This, of course, is when we find out that Gollum is a murderer. Back in the present, the days are growing darker as the duo gets closer to Mordor. It seems only Sam has any hope for the journey home. Well, that's not entirely true. Merry and Pippin are tolking it up, having a wee smoke and a drink. It seems Treebeard has taken over management of Isengard. And, as we all know, in the extended version, Saruman gets stabbed in the back by Grima and falls to his impalement down below. Legolas shoots an arrow into Grima's heart, and all rejoice. Spoiler alert. But how does this prove that Return of the King is better than Titanic? Well, Return of the King isn't a love story romanticizing a fictional couple from a real-life tragedy that killed 1,000 people. Gandalf's heart tells him that Frodo is alive, moving ever nearer to the deadly lava land of Mordor. Sam, with good fortune, overhears Gollum's evil plan in the night and responds accordingly. That is until Frodo stops him and Gollum starts to turn them against each other like a littler Littlefinger. Pippin, ever the idiot, wakes up and takes the Palantir which he touches, locking onto the evil eye and seeing a white tree. Rohan must be ready for war. Gandalf sends Aragorn off and separates Merry and Pippin.
Run, Shadowfax. Show us the meaning of haste.
Merry!
Meanwhile, Arwen, seeing her future child, turns back and leaves the elves in the journey to the Undying Land, telling her daddy she must stay for Aragorn.
There is no ship now that can bear me hence.
Elrond reforges the sword, so the crownless can be king. And we arrive to Minas Tirith. Gandalf tells Pippin to shut the fuck up when they meet Denethor, and rightfully so. Denethor, steward of Gondor, knows that Boromir is dead. Pippin, of course, immediately speaks up on behalf of Boromir, offering his humble services. but none are more humble than the Witch King of Angmar, Lord of the Nazgul, greatest of the Nine, who no living man can kill. Did you know that? He wanted to make sure everyone knows that exact wording. By the way, Ben-Hur, are you kidding me? Do you know what the budget was for Ben-Hur? $15 million in 1959. That's like $50 billion today. Very irresponsible. Return of the King only cost $94 million, which is way less. Frodo and Sam arrive to the stairs, lit by a ghostly green light, framed in an otherworldly set filled with incredible production design, and topped like a sour black cherry with the Witch King riding his fell beast across the barren hellscape. But alas, there's hope. Perfectly encapsulated in the image of a beacon, lit to spark a domino effect across the snowy tundra, and the signal spreads all across the land. Gondor calls for aid.
And Rohan will answer.
Gandalf shows up with some light to scare off the spooky beasts. Then Faramir confirms to the White Wiz that Frodo and Sam are indeed alive. Faramir goes to his foul father, who likes the other one better and doesn't care who knows it. Now it's time to up the stakes and get those friends into enemies.
Some friends become enemies, some enemies become friends, yeah? At the end, your main character is richer for the experience, yeah?
Gollum tells Frodo that Sam wants to steal the ring. He frames Sam with the lembas breadcrumbs and throws it away. Sam offers to share the load.
Get away!
He's supposed to just walk all the way back by himself now? Frodo sucks, dude. Total dick. Anyway, Denethor asks Pippin to sing him a song, which ends up being a breathtaking, beautiful sequence tying together the horrors of war, the rain of arrows, and the soft singing as we intercut with Denethor eating like a disgusting pig as blood-red juice drips down his repulsive mouth. And if the stakes weren't high enough, now Arwen's life is tied to the fate of the ring. Elrond hands Aragorn the newly forged sword and bids him find the army in the mountain. Éowyn gets friend-zoned. Gimli and Legolas tell Aragorn he's not going without them. And now we learn of the cursed ghosts who abandoned Gondor, fleeing into the mountains like a bunch of jerks.
That line was broken. It has been remade.
This movie is just epic quote after epic quote after epic quote.
What say you? What say you?
Denethor sees the army, orders abandon your posts,
Abandon your post! Flee! Flee for your life!
and Gandalf knocks him out with a staff to the face.
Prepare for battle.
The White Wizard beats some ass, Pippin saves him from death from behind, and then Gollum leads Frodo to the spider Shelob, as Sam finds the lembas bread, assured that Gollum is playing them like a fiddle. But it's too late. Frodo is caught in the webs. Shelob comes crawling after him. Gollum taunts, Frodo attacks, then pities him, confiding in the little monster that he's going to destroy the ring once and for all. Which Gollum actually takes pretty well. In a beautiful moment of visual storytelling, the dead tree begins to bloom. Is there a new king, perhaps, on the horizon? Frodo may never know. Shelob follows the hobbit, ultimately stabbing him in the gut, paralyzing him and wrapping him in webs. Sam arrives to take on the spider like a boss, but Frodo looks very, very dead. In a perfect parallel, Denethor prepares to burn Faramir as the orcs arrive, confirming Frodo is alive. Pippin saves Faramir from the fire. Denethor goes alight, then he goes for a run.
So passes Denethor, son of Ecthelion.
The elephant people arrive to complicate matters. We probably should have gotten our own.
Feast on his flesh.
The Witch King comes next and takes down Theoden until Éowyn steps in, chops off the fell beast's head, and defeats the Witch King because...
I am no man.
Theoden dies with honor. Legolas and Gimli go point for point again, leading to an epic takedown even though it still only counts as one. Ghost taking down an elephant is so ridiculously badass and would make sense in no other story but this. Imagine that in Titanic. You can't. Why? Because it sucks. No, it's fine. At the end of it all, Aragorn holds his oath fulfilled, and the ghosts go to the next world to find peace. Pippin finds Merry on the battlefield and promises to look after him. Sam saves Frodo from an orc, sticking him first and handing him back the ring. The boys find Mordor and the Great Eye passing out of Gandalf's sight. Aragorn comes up with a plan to distract the Eye from Frodo and the boys are on board. This is when Aragorn shows himself to be the worthy king.
I see in your eyes the same fear that would take the heart of me. A day may come when the courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship. But it is not this day. I bid you stand! Men of the West!
The writing is flawless, perfectly blending humor and heart at every moment.
I thought I'd die fighting side by side with an elf.
What about side by side with a friend?
Every character in this movie is so full of heart, it shines through in every frame. From Sam carrying Frodo up the rest of the way.
Come on, Mr. Frodo. I can't carry it for you. But I can carry you!
To Aragorn leading the charge into battle with one final word.
For Frodo.
Then our mere mortal ears are treated to what might very well be the most epic music ever heard by a human being. Frodo's final battle with Gollum is so poetically epic. Gollum truly saved the day, albeit inadvertently. The third of the three true heroes of this trilogy. You can hear about the other two in my last video. It's an interesting choice by an interesting author. Many others would have kept Frodo a hero till the end, but not Tolkien. When the time finally comes, Frodo refuses to destroy the ring.
The ring is mine.
He chooses to keep it for himself, until Gollum jumps him again, biting off his finger and ultimately falling into the lava where he and Smeagol both burn into nothing. Sam urges Frodo to grab his hand and he pulls him up to safety, saving him for the 15th time as the ring finally melts like my aspirations on a Sunday. The tower falls and Sauron is dead. The armies retreat and the mountain explodes. Frodo and Sam try to outrun the magma, finding themselves marooned on some lava rock. The Fellowship goes from cheering Frodo to mourning him as the mountain blows. It's gone. It's done. The relief is instant.
It's gone. It's done.
Now, this trilogy is not without controversy, the Eagles being the #1 example. But I think we can all agree that the reason the Eagles didn't come earlier has nothing to do with the fact that the Eye would have spotted them, or any other logical excuse. The real reason is that it would have ruined the whole story, so get over it. Another controversy is that of the many endings. Yes, this movie has 6 endings, but I defy you to find one you would be willing to cut, other than 2 or 3. I'll tell you what we're not getting rid of: everyone having a pillow fight on the bed and each character walking in like the opening credits of an 80s sitcom. Nor can we remove the big twist that Sam was straight the whole time.
There is a, how do I say, without being rude, a gay connotation. Oh, you laugh, it's funny.
Aragorn gets his crown, gets the girl, and the hobbits get their due.
You bow to no one.
Bilbo wants to see his ring one last time, and Frodo claims to have lost it. The book is finished, all is well, the adventure is over. Some things left out of the book include the scouring of the Shire, but that would have been a 7th ending, and nobody has time for that. But what you might have time for is this. Check out the last 2 videos here to get all caught up, and let me know in the comments below what movie you want to hear about next. Until next time, I'm Zach, you're watching Zach Makes Movies, and this is Return of the King.
Muster the Rohirrim!